Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today is Friday, July 30th of the year 2021, and this is going to be FlossTube number 52. So as always, I want to welcome you all. Welcome back to all my current viewers and subscribers, and thank you as always for your continuing support. I also want to welcome any new subscribers, and thank you for giving me a chance. And anyone that's visiting for the first time, I hope that you like what you see, you find a reason to stay, subscribe, and continue to follow me on my stitching journey. I hope that everybody's doing well, and you are keeping safe, you are staying safe and sound. Everything's good on our end. We're just, keeping a low profile as always. We're hermits to begin with, so going out isn't necessarily what we have planned anytime soon. Unless it's grocery runs, then we really don't go out too much. However, you're not here for that, you're here for stitching, so I do have quite a bit to show you today. So without further ado, let's get to the stitching. First piece I'm going to show you is my mini midnight stroll. This is by Julie Fain from Heaven and Earth Designs, and I feel like she's going to be replacing Hogwarts in terms of focus pieces. Life after Hogwarts is certainly interesting. I feel like I don't necessarily know yet what it's like to not have it in my rotation. There's been several instances where we've had events come up for my challenge groups, and my first instinct is to say, great, I'm gonna work on Hogwarts for this one, but I can't. Anyways, this is where I am with her so far. So I believe I was somewhere in this area when I last showed it to you. I'm kind of switching gears for a bit in regards to how I do my stitching. I started partially kitting some of my things a few years ago. So the idea was to go essentially just to color completion. I picked out several whips, and then I bought the most used color. And I bought like all the skeins that I would need for that color. And so my initial idea was to just go ahead and do color completion, just go color by color, and then eventually it would be finished. Obviously that didn't happen, but I do want to try it. I do want to do it because I have those colors. I thought, hey, if I have them, I might as well go ahead and use them up and stitch them. So this was one of the pieces that I did for the two colors that I bought, were this pink right here that I was working on, and this dark purple that I am working on now. This dark purple goes, it's like huge blocks of that single color. There's 8,000 stitches, over 8,000 stitches left for that color alone in this piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with this piece. I'll go ahead, because this goes pretty much all the way down to the bottom, and then it does, like on this side, it does kind of curl upwards a little bit to create the shading effect. So I'll go ahead and do that. So I'll finish these two colors on this piece, and then move along, keep going on that one. For this one, my original goal was to hit 55,000 stitches, over the course of the year. I don't know if I'll be able to do that still. I did do my numbers as I normally do towards the end of the month. For that one, I would still need 1,500 stitches a week to hit that goal. So I'll be using it for the monsters. So for the magical stitches, our monthly tasks are just to defeat monsters. You either have to do 1,500 sets of stitches, 1,000, or 500. So I'll be using Mini Midnight Stroll for the 1,500 stitch one. Hopefully, I can keep up with it, do it do one monster a week, and hopefully hit my goal that way. However, I also want to, if I somehow end up doing more than what I need, say I do the 1500, but then I'm also inspired to use it for a prompt or something, an additional prompt, then I'll keep going even after I reach that goal, because I do want to finish it sooner rather than later. So she's going to be, again, she's probably going to replace Hogwarts. She's probably going to be the first one I show every time from now on. Next piece I'm going to show you is, and these aren't any particular order. I meant to go ahead and write down, like, make a list. I think I'll do that from now on. I'll just make a list of all the projects I stitch on, because since I'm doing these videos over a course of 2 weeks, sometimes it's all a blur. I don't necessarily remember all of the projects, so I'll try to be better. I'll try to make a list so I know exactly what I worked on, and I can give you a bit of a context of why I worked on it, if it's for a prompt or anything like that. So the next one, this is now my daily 30 piece. It used to be Hogwarts. So now I've decided to go ahead and use my Sleeping Beauty piece from Stitch Fairy Treasures on Etsy. This is, I think, my second oldest piece now, either my second or my third. But the reason I picked her is because she's not on Pattern Keeper, and the symbols on this particular pattern are very similar. So working on a paper pattern like that is very hard. It's very slow going, and it's very tedious. Like, I keep, triple checking to make sure that I'm using the right colors, because you have a white arrow that's pointing left and then another white arrow that's pointing right. It's hard. So this is what we're at so far. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but she does have white, like a white aura almost going around her, like all around her, and it's also light gray. So using this for 30 minutes a day is easy, because I don't have to worry about too much confetti. I'll just pick 2 colors and then follow those 2 colors. How I'm trying to do this is I'm picking, so from this top corner right here, I'm picking the next color, the next stitch that's left to do, and then I'll follow that color as much as I can throughout those 2 pages. Excuse me. And then just do the whole thing over and over again. So with 30 minutes a day, you can't do too many colors at once, so usually I'll just grab 2, maybe 3 colors, and, keep them to the side, so that I don't have to go and fish for colors later. But it's coming. I mean, I am enjoying working on it this way. It's manageable. It's definitely manageable, and it's slowly going to come together, which is great. And originally I just wanted to do that first page. That was the goal for the year, is you just do 1 more page. But this other page, the one that's on the far side, it's partial, and 90% of it was that white and that gray. So I figured, what the heck, I'll just go ahead and do both of them. It's fine. So, and this is pretty much the bottom of the page as well. So it's I feel like I may see her eyes, but maybe not. But it's nice going, and again, 30 minutes a day for 5 days a week, I can totally do that. And the next piece, I'm gonna go ahead and put that to the side, and this is a bag by Stitching Button. You'll see some of those today. I don't get to buy too many of her bags, but I did receive a couple as gifts this last month. so you'll see them. The next project I'm going to show you is the one that I used for the 24 hours of cross stitch marathon that happened over the weekend. Oh, sorry. I actually only worked on her for 2 out of the 3 days, and I decided to go ahead and work on my Esmeralda from Tilton Crafts, based on Daniel Kordick's artwork. According to my spreadsheet, I haven't worked on her all year, so I don't know if that's correct. I feel like I may have done a prompt here or there, maybe 200 stitches, but my spreadsheet tells me otherwise. So I decided there's no excuse. It's the anniversary year of Hunchback of Notre Dame, so I have to work on her. So I decided to go ahead and pull her out for the marathon. I managed to get 1,600 stitches done on her over the course of the 2 days. So having done 1,600 stitches over 2 days, I kind of got burnt out on it, and so I decided to spend Sunday gridding, because again, that was when the mojo was kind of, I don't know, it's just been all over the place the last few days. So this was when it started being a little off. So I decided, okay, well, since I can't make up my mind, I can't decide what I'm going to stitch on, I'm just going to grid. But anyways, most of the colors were just like these 3 reds that are here on the top. And sorry if you can hear, the gardeners are out in front. So I used like 3 different shades of red over here. So, and that's how I like to work this piece. I just follow the color. It's really easy to just follow along and work my way up, and then go back down and work my way up again. So I really like stitching on her because of this. It's really easy to stitch on. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and keep working on her, even though, you know, getting those 1,600 stitches wasn't too much. I think my goal for her was to hit 20,000. It was either 20,000 or 30,000. And again, I've only done a pitiful amount on her. So she'll be back out. She'll definitely be coming back out, so I can go ahead and hit that goal for her. The next piece I'm actually going to show you on my tablet. I don't know if I showed this to you last time. Again, I forgot to write down what I worked on when, so this may be a repeat of my last FlossTube update. This is Darth Vader by Mandarin Designs on Etsy. I don't think I showed this to you yet, because I did use this for a prompt, for a monthly prompt on Enchanted Stitching. We needed to work on something that could be a worthy opponent for Maui, the demigod from Moana. So I thought, sure, Darth Vader, why not? That might be an interesting match. And so we had to do 500 stitches on it. So I did 500 stitches in 823. So going back to my plan for color completion, if I do 823 on this one, this is kind of, you know, I do have the border, but this is pretty much how big it's gonna be. Once I do the 823, I'm gonna have the skeleton. I'm gonna have a lot of it done. So that's the plan for this guy. So again, 500. I think I'm at, you know, 750 stitches now. I don't have too much done on this one, but the goal for the year for this one was 2,000 stitches. So I also don't have too much to do to hit the yearly goal. So I think once I finish that 823, I'll just call it and move on to something else. The next piece I'm going to show you is again another bag by Stitching Button. Another present, birthday present. Thank you. You know who you are. So it's Disney Villains. And as you know, I already finished her. So right now I'm working on Ursula. And for her, I did I actually worked on her quite a bit this month. I finished up all the off-white up here, which is the background on her hair. And for her, the color that I'll be doing first is the 340. So it's going to be the purple. So that's going to get me her face and her chest. So I feel like that's also going to be the last thing I do on her for a bit. I may pick it up later on in the year, but I have worked on this quite a bit this year, so I feel like it's time for a break. It's definitely time for a break. Just to show you, so this entire color is also going to be somewhere down here as well for the background, because the background does peep in again. I'm trying to work with the light, but it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to do sometimes. But yeah, she got, so this entire piece, including whatever was left of the Evil Queen, it's gotten a lot of work done this year. I think Ursula right now is sitting at 1,500 done. So I want to be able to finish all of them by February 2025. So originally I wanted to do one per year. That's not gonna happen because I started in February 2020. I would have to finish it by 2024. So I don't think I'll be able to finish it because, again, it took me over a year to do that one panel. So I don't think I'll be able to do it in 2024. I may do it by 2025. The next piece I have to show you is one that I worked for a little bit on after I showed it to you last, and this is my 3 Things sampler by Moira Blackburn. And this one, again, didn't get too much more love from the last time I showed it to you. I think I did maybe 1 or 2 letters more. Here we go. So this is where it's at so far. So I think the last thing I stitched was I kept going over here with the vine up here with the flowers. So I added that green inside, and I think I only did the eye, really. I didn't have too much left to do, but it's coming along. And well, since this was the last piece that I showed you, I can it's gonna segue into plans for July. Semi-Sane Stitchers is doing an event called Uno. So again, very much inspired by the game, the card game Uno. The way that it works is you have to, so you pick 4 projects to represent each color, right? Each color card that you can get in the game. And the way that it's done, from what I understand, I haven't done it before, so this will be my first time participating, is they'll spin a wheel. The first day they'll spin a wheel, and that's the whip, from 1 through 4. So that's the whip that you have to stitch on, that you have to start on. And then the next day they spin again. So say you get, say it falls on 2 first, so that means you have to work on your second whip that you chose. And then the next day you get a skip 1. That means that you skip 3 and you work on 4 for 200 stitches. So the first one you do is, I think, 100 stitches, and then if you get any instruction card, you have to double it. So again, so if you started with 2 and you get a skip 1, then you skip 3, you do 200 stitches on 4. But say the next one is just a regular number 1, then you do the next one 1. I think that's how it goes, and then you just do 100 stitches instead. So this is one of the whips that I'll be using. Some of my stitching friends picked my whips for me because, again, my mojo was going crazy, and I had zero idea. Like, I knew I wanted to participate because I was thinking of doing arbitrary August. So this is kind of arbitrary, you know, you get to spin a wheel and that'll decide what you worked on for the day. So it's arbitrary without going too crazy. But I still had no idea. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So of course, Laurel, my friend Laurel, picked this one because she's also working on it as well. So she picked this one. This one's one of the choices. So you'll definitely see it back out next video. And then Vicky from Reading and Stitching picked out Veronica again because she also has this whip in progress as well. So she picked Veronica, so that's another one. And then I don't think I have the other two. For Veronica, I do have this one available. So here, let me show you. Not too much. I think this is how it goes. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure this bottom is where the black is gonna go, the black skirt. But this is all I have really. I just started on her skirt. So again, because it's only 100 stitches, I don't mind. I purposely told him to pick whips that were not on Pattern Keeper, because 100 stitches is not that much to do. 200 stitches, I can do 200 stitches without, you know, using Pattern Keeper to keep track for me. So again, my Mirabilia, because it's not on Pattern Keeper. 3 King Sampler is not on Pattern Keeper. And then another friend chose my Summer Tree, which is this one. Let me see if I can show it to you without showing you the pattern, because I completely lost the original product image and I don't know where it went. So let me grab this. There we go. So this is the Summer Tree, right? And again, not on Pattern Keeper, but again, not hard to do 100 to 200 stitches on it. So Joni, my friend Joni, picked this one out. And the fourth one was Nevermore. I don't have that out. I forgot to take that one out. But it's Nevermore. I'm sure you've seen it. It's Nevermore by Lila's Studio. That one was a gift from Leanne from Forbidden Fiber Company. She's also here on FlossTube as Leanne Stitches. She was kind enough to send me a material pack. So I had the pattern already, so she sent me a material pack using her own color conversion, because if you know her, if you know of her, you know that Forbidden Fiber Company is yarns, right? So she dyes yarns. She's also delved into dyeing floss for a bit, so she sent me the Forbidden Fiber floss conversion of the project. So I'm very excited. And again, I started that. I put in 200 stitches so that I could use it for No New Start, and I haven't touched it since. So it's definitely going to need some love. And I'm very excited to work on all of them, really. Like, once they made their choices, I was like, yes, I like this lineup very much. So I'll be happy to work on that. I feel like I'm still going to do some sort of arbitrary August. I considered doing the 100 Days of Hate, which also starts this Sunday on August 1st. Because she's changed the rules. So originally it's one project, right? So one project for 100 days, and I always got burnt out like around the 2/3 mark. So day 65 or so, 66, done. I can't look at this anymore. So, and that's common. I was talking to my friend Shannon. Shannon's the one that picked Nevermore. Same thing. She participated in the 100 Days of Hate, and then, you know, she only recently took out that one piece again because she just got so burnt out on it. She got so sick of it, she couldn't look at it anymore. However, this year she changed the rules, so you can actually, as long as it's a hay, you can work on as many hays throughout the 100 days as you want, as long as you do at least 50 stitches a day, or just stitch for 5 minutes a day, whichever way you want to do it. You can do it counting or non-counting. So you can work on, you know, some people are thinking about rotating, so they have like 3 or 4 that they like to work on, so they want to rotate each one. I don't know, so that's what intrigued me. I thought that's a lot easier to do, but I still don't know. Again, I considered doing like a little spin the wheel type of thing, and just decide the wheel to see what height I would stitch on. But I would still, the thing that gave me pause was we would need start and finish pictures of all of them. And I'm just like, I don't want to take all these starting photos and all those finishing photos. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like I'm still going to keep a wheel, so that in case the date comes like it just happened a couple of days ago where I don't know what to stitch on, I'll just spin the wheel and let the wheel decide. Speaking of which, I didn't show you that one. So again, a few days ago, I let my friend Tess from Tess Stitches, we were chatting, and I told her that I just, you know, I don't know, my mojo was going crazy and I just couldn't decide what to stitch on. Even though I wanted to stitch on something, I knew that I needed to stitch on something. I was this close to going back to gridding, but it was also, I just didn't want to do that all day again. So she picked Bilbo. And so I started on the back stitching finally. So this is, I finished the door. I don't know how well you'll be able to see all those details, because it's a lot of it's also here in the shadows. I finished the door, and so I've now tried to doing the bottom. No, I'm working on the doorway here, the archway, whatever you want to call it. So the plan is to go ahead and keep going, finish up the archway. So I have to finish up this latch right here, go down, and then do the, I don't know what that's supposed to be. I don't know if it's a pillar that's supposed to have carvings, but I do want to keep going on this one because I'm trying to just kind of work my way downwards. And this one, that was the other thing. It only, at the end of the day, it only has 3 colors for back stitching. You know, I had been so scared to pick this up because I had this idea that it was just a ton of back stitching. That once I looked at the pattern, I realized that it's only 3 colors. It's got black, white, and 154, the dark purple. And I thought, I can do that. That's fine. That's manageable. So that made it a lot less scary. So that's why I want to do this section as well, is because that only has black. So I can take care of that real quick, and then I'll go ahead and work on the background, the landscape, because that one is going to have a lot of details. And then, you know, I think at that point I'll only have some of the tiles to do down here. And the teapot, because he's got the teacup, the teapot, the cookies, and then of course Bilbo himself. So I'll keep working on him. I do want to give him 3 more hours today. One of the daily 30 prompts is to work on a whip that was either a New Year, New Start, or a birthday start. So this was my New Year, New Start for 2020. So I do want to give him 3 more hours. That's how many. So I never count stitches when I'm doing back stitching. I don't like it. It's too much effort. So I always do it by time. So hopefully next time you see it, it'll be done. Again, doing it slowly but surely, but it'll definitely get finished now. I kind of you know, I lost that fear of, oh my gosh, it's so much back stitching, because it's not. It's just the landscape, it's just the background that is a little bit daunting. So yeah, so that is all I have to show you. I was gonna show you one more thing, which I could, I guess. So another event that's happening for Enchanted Stitching is we're doing the build the cabins. So I finished the first part, which was the actual cabins, and it was 2,000 stitch increments. The next part is a little bit harder, so now it's 5,000 stitch increments. So I think this is the piece I'm gonna use for that one. And this is another one of my stitching button bags. This was a gift from Joni, so thank you so much, Joni. And this is the piece that I have inside. It's Moon Charmer, select the size. And I only picked that size because it was smaller than the original. There was really no rhyme or reason to it other than that. And it wasn't my order, somebody else asked for it. But again, this is one of the pieces that I really wanted to focus on this year, and I haven't worked on her at all this year. And this one is mostly kitted up. So here we go, so you don't have the glare of the bag. Artwork is by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven Earth Designs. And she's a big one. She's definitely one of my biggest ones. This was back when I didn't work on 25 count yet, so that's why it's also so big. I feel like if I had been on 25 count, it would have been a lot easier. But that's all I have so far. It's just a tree. So again, hopefully those 5,000 stitch increments are easier to do if it's just one color at a time, because this one is pretty much all the way kitted up. And since I'm working on the trees, I'll probably just work with the black and the really dark green. It's like a pine green, because those are definitely used a lot. For this one, in order to achieve my goal, I still need to do 35,000 stitches more. Again, this was supposed to be a major focus. In order to do that, I would need to do 1,750 stitches a week. So again, hopefully doing the 5,000 cabin event will help me along. And then another whip that I'm going to be focusing on this month is one that I was going to focus on last month, or not last month, but June. No, July, this month. I'm all over the place. July, again, I was counting on the Defeat the Monsters challenge for these. So the one that I'm gonna use for this month is Wonder Woman. So again, Wonder Woman bag. This one was handmade by my friend Michelle. It was a birthday gift last year, I think. So this is what she looks like, or she will look like. This is a Tilton Crafts chart based on Daniel Kodak's artwork. And for her, I did grid a little bit of the top again. I did spend time gridding it was the night before. It was Wednesday night. This is what she looks like. Again, not too much done on her. So I'm gridding the top. I gridded the top section so I can finish off the background, and I can finish some of the colors. So for her, the colors that I bought here are, among others, are $154 and $37.99. So $37.99 for the most part is up here. There's a bit to do down here as well where the blue is. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and grid this section as well, so that I could do the gray. The purple is going to be a lot harder to do, because that's everything. Like, if I do want, I am gonna do it, so I need to start gridding. I need to keep gridding, because the purple is just everything. Like, once I finish that 154, I'm gonna have like a really basic outline of her as well. So that's definitely going to be the next color I use once I finish up the $37.99. And for her, I didn't have too much of a goal for her. Sorry for the crinkle. I didn't have too much of a goal for her. I wanted to do I think like 5,000 stitches over the course of the year. I would only need to do 3,500 stitches more. So I'm using her for the 1,000 stitch monster, so I can get that goal taken care of. And then next month I'll go ahead and switch to my because the other reasons that's all over the place. Sorry guys. Again, it's been a week. Again, Leanne of Leanne Stitches does a hashtag called Superhero Saturday Sale. So the plan is to use Wonder Woman and Iron Man to participate in that sale. So that's also why I like to bring these out. So kind of similarly to how I mentioned with Mini Midnight Stroll, if I happen to reach my goal, which I will, you know, if I do 1,000 stitches a week for the month of August, I'll have 4,000 stitches done. I'll have reached that goal. I'll still go ahead and keep doing the sale, so I'll alternate between Iron Man and Wonder Woman still, but I just won't. I may just do like a weekly prompt that has 250 stitches, you know, per prompt. So I'll work on her, but not that much, because her goal will have been met. She won't necessarily be much of a focus anymore, because there's just so many whips that I haven't touched. I didn't realize until, you know, I did the mid-year whip parade, and then I finished Hogwarts, and I found myself like suddenly the doors opened and I had all the options in the world again. It felt like so yeah, so I do want to go ahead and try to reach for as many goals as possible. The third whip that I'm going to use for those monthly monster events is Reader's Paradise. For that one, I had huge goals. In order to reach the original goal, I think I had told myself that I wanted to reach like 10% of the piece, but it's also my biggest piece. It's a, you know, max colored. Here, I'll show you. It's a supersized max color version of the original chart. So of course it's going to be massive, and you know, I had good intentions. I thought I wanted to finish it in my lifetime. So, oh my gosh, I keep pressing. There we go. I kept pressing the chart instead of the the view mock-up. So this is the chart. This is Reader's Paradise by Amy Stewart. And again, I fell in love with this pattern. I have no regrets, but I also know that it's massive and that it's going to need constant love. So at least for this month, I'm gonna go ahead and go with 500 stitches a week, which I know is nothing. Like, it's still gonna take me forever and a day to finish it if I only do 500 stitches a week, but for now that's manageable. And for that one, it's kind of hard to do the color completion, especially right now because I'm just at the little corner, but it is pre-gridded. That is one of the 25 count that I have on the pre-gridded Lugana. So I may just I'll see what I can do to try to make it go fast because it is a lot of changing of colors. So yeah, so those are my three monsters, and then we have the 5,000 cabin event. Uno's happening, Uno as we fondly call it. So that's gonna be fun as well. And yeah, full coverage fanatics. Oh, that was another thing. I kind of fell out of full coverage fanatics Olympics, the Olympic bingo. Like I had a bingo. I used Mini Midnight Stroll and Hogwarts, and then once I reached that goal, I kind of just, okay, done, next sort of thing. So looking back, the prompts themselves didn't lend to a lot of my pieces. I would have had to do a lot of penalty stitches because there's, you know, it was related to sports. It was a lot of like, oh, do something with horses, do something with outdoor activities. So I feel like that's why I didn't necessarily want to work on it too much. So once I did the bingo, I was like, okay, call it a day. But what I do want to do is go back, and I completely forgot about the bookshelf challenge. So I want to go back and finish that up. I do want to do that. I don't know if I'll be able to catch up because I am quite behind, but I'll try. I may just I'll probably just double dip with either Moon Charmer or Mini Midnight Stroll so that I can get them done at the same time that I'm finishing up all these monsters. But yes, that's all I have to show you today. A little bit of a longer video because I feel like I'm working on a lot of things. I want to do a lot of things. Okay, sorry. So yeah, so I don't know how much of this I'll be able to show again. You know, I mean, that's, you know, that event's gonna keep going, so I will show you those 4 whips at least next time, as well as, you know, so hopefully by then I'll have you a finish. Hopefully I'll have Bilbo finished, and some of the monsters as well, but we'll see. I don't know. Again, Stitching Mode is kind of doing all sorts of wonderful things. But thank you for joining me today. As always, I hope you guys have a relaxing weekend, a productive week, and you always find the time to do the thing that makes you happy. Until next time, bye.